And then there were 4. Only OL Reign, Portland Thorns, Kansas City Current, and San Diego Wave remain in the quest to play for the NWSL Championship. The doubleheader action will kick off with a great matchup in Portland, with the Thorns hosting the San Diego Wave. The Thorns may have let the Shield slip away late in the season finale, but Portland is battle-tested and led the league with 49 goals. Leading the way has been forward Sophia Smith, who set the club record for goals in one season at age 22.
Sugita, Smith, again!
For Portland to reach the final, they have to get past San Diego, who not only made league history by becoming the first expansion team to make the playoffs in their first season, but they did it with some extra time magic from the Golden Boot winner Alex Morgan, advancing them to the semifinal.
Rifles a shot and it's in! Of course it had to be Alex Morgan!
On the other side of the bracket, top-seeded OL Reign, behind a late season surge, took the NWSL Shield. But Laura Harvey's side has much loftier goals in mind and are now only 2 games away from their first championship ever in club history.
Easy goal for Megan Rapinoe.
Standing in OL Reign's way will be the Kansas City Current, who find themselves in the semifinal just 1 year after finishing in last place. The Current advanced to this round in dramatic fashion.
Herrera, Cabango playing it in front! Goal for Kansas City!
2 great matchups in the Northwest in front of more record-breaking crowds. Who will rise to the occasion and advance to the NWSL Championship? Tune in to CBS Sports Network Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern to find out. There are 4 teams remaining in the NWSL playoffs right now as we enter the semifinal weekend. Number 5, Kansas City Current will travel to play OL Reign, the Shield winners. That match is happening Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Then the number 3, San Diego Wave FC, travel to Providence Park to take on the number 2, Portland Thorns. You can catch that match on CBS Sports Network at 7:30 p.m. Welcome into HQ. I'm your host, Lisa Roman, alongside former U.S. internationals and some of the best NWSL analysts out there, Allie Wagner and Lindsey. Welcome in, ladies. Can you believe it?
Wait, hold on. Did you start with some of the best analysts?
Well, you know, we're hitting the top of the reach here for the best analysts, but I get to be around all of you guys. It's fantastic. Can you believe that we have made it already to the semifinal? Were you predicting, Allie, that these 4 teams would be entering this weekend?
You know what? I really did not necessarily foresee San Diego going through against Chicago. I actually didn't predict Chicago would even be in the playoffs, but once they were there, I thought that they might be able to pull off a result against San Diego. And it looked like they were in that first half, but, second half rolled around and San Diego just really took control as Chicago lost steam. So, no, I didn't expect San Diego to be in this position, but it's fantastic to see considering they're an expansion side, pulling off things that we have never experienced in the NWSL, and that's making playoffs and now potentially going on a run.
Laura, I want to ask you about a different matchup between San Diego and Portland. You look at this Stanford college teammates between Naomi Girma, defender for San Diego, and Sophia Smith, forward for Portland Thorns. When you look at that 1v1 battle, is there anything that stands out to you between those two, besides the fact that they've been friends for so many years and now they get to match up in the playoffs?
Yeah, an awesome one. I mean, talking about 2 of the best young players in the world. I mean, Naomi Girma, not only up for Rookie of the Year, but also up for Player of the Year. I mean, what an accomplishment for a young player. And then we're starting to see her rise on the international level as well, just in this last international break. And then you have Sophia Smith, who's been one of the most exciting young players in our league for a couple years now, and Golden Boot race with Alex Morgan. So, I mean, that's going to be a fun matchup. And I think whoever can really win that battle could potentially win this game.
It is the first of 2 huge playoff games we have this weekend. The second one is Kansas City at OL Reign. This match being played in Seattle.
I think when you try to look at the attacking threats that OL Reign has, it's multiple experienced players. Megan Rapinoe barely played the whole beginning half of the season. She's fresh, right? You
Mhm.
can't say that about a lot of these players. That's why she's having an incredible, I would say, run of form relative to some other, experienced vets. I think when you look in the midfield, Rose Lavelle, massive experience, massive talent. Bethany Balcer, one of the greatest stories in NWSL history, and has always been in that Golden Boot hunt every year. Second in goals, right, and with 7, or tied for first, excuse me, with Megan Rapinoe, 7 goals this season. So I think when you look at the threats that OL Reign has, it's multiple, and they're experienced players. They've been in this situation before. Laura Harvey has yet to win a championship with OL Reign, and is incredibly hungry to do so. So I think this group is going to be motivated. I think they're going to put that inexperience, to a certain extent, backline under a lot of pressure of Kansas City. And I just think when they do fall into that back five, that the manipulation ability of Rose Lavelle coming out of midfield is going to be one of the key factors of how that opposition can be broken open.
Kansas City will almost lull you to sleep. They'll be happy to not have the ball. And then when you do make a sloppy pass or a quick giveaway, that's when they'll pounce. And it's going to be Quinn's positioning, it's screening that back line, to me, that's going to be vital just to keep things in front of them, make sure that they can send players forward like Huerta, but still have coverage in those central areas.
Well, now we know who to watch this weekend, everything to be prepared for, because 4 teams enter the semifinal: OL Reign, Portland Thorns, San Diego Wave, and Kansas City. And only 2 teams will leave alive. Thank you, Lori and Allie, so much for joining us today. This was so great to preview the semifinal. For more on the NWSL with previews, analysis, and exclusive interviews, you can download, follow, and subscribe to Attacking Third.